have a special guest, and he's gonna entertain us with some music.
Hey, Billy, how you doing? Billy Mitchell is watching. Billy Mitchell, by the way, is Mr. Apollo. He, if you've ever been to the Apollo or to any of their tours, Billy Mitchell is the man who runs the Apollo tours, and he can tell you anything and everything that you need to know of all the performers that's been at the Apollo. He can also probably tell you a lot about Harlem, and maybe it's a little known fact, I don't know, but he's a fabulous actor as well. Billy Mitchell used to tear up the stage. That's how we first met. That's right, give me a thumbs up, you know that's right.
Yeah, Billy, my man Billy.
And then we have Chris Cumberbatch, and if you don't know who Chris Cumberbatch is, he is, he is a fantastic set designer. I mean, and his paintings are incredible, but he also does a fantastic job in theater. And he's won several Adelco Awards for the creation that he's done. Always good, my sister, love you, and I'm so proud. I'm so proud of you too, Billy. Okay, Michelle, I'm still looking for the poem while we're going on, and we're live. We got 4 people joining us here on Facebook. So.
Good. Very good, very good.
We also have a couple of people joining us on Instagram here on the I Am Michele Baldwin page. We have a shout out to Christine Fontana 07. Hey. And BK Photo 2012. Hey, good to see you guys.
Okay.
You're on Zoom.
So I'm on Zoom here, and we have some lovely music by Keith. And this is Keith Johnston. Show your beautiful face, your handsome face, sir.
Hey.
Yes. And he has shorts on, so there's no Zoom bombing. And we're going to introduce Miss Melissa, our on-location feed coordinator.
Hey!
It's so funny because I know people are like, what is that? Well, you know, like on shows you have on location where people are like outside of the show, you know, talking to people on the street. Well, Melissa's going to be talking to you guys out there on Instagram and corresponding back and forth with us and letting us know who's on and what you guys are asking.
We all got it. We got the Corona blues. I'm gonna make it up. I don't wanna be in anyone's shoes, but I got to sing these blues. Oh, rocks has been my pillow, cold ground has been my bed, but the blue skies have been my blanket. Oh, moonlight has been my spread. I work all summer, I sleep all fall. I've been getting in my overalls. Oh, I'm not ashamed. People ain't that news. Oh, I've been living with the blues. Oh. Oh, rocks has been my pillow. Cold ground has been my bed. Don't be afraid. Oh, the blue skies have been my blanket. Moonlight has been my spread. Oh, I work all summer, I sleep all fall. Oh, I spend my Christmas in my overalls. I'm not ashamed. People ain't that news. Come on now. Oh, I've been living with the blues. Oh, my mama had them, and my daddy had them too. Yes, he did. I guess right now we're all been living, now living with what, y'all? What we living with?
The blues.
The blues.
Wow, that was fantastic too. Thank you.
Off the cuff, you're trying to figure something out. Y'all throw me on the spot.
Wow. That was awesome. That was awesome. And while we are waiting for Michele to come back, how's it going down there in Florida? I mean, you know, it's hitting us hard all over. What's going on down there?
Well, you know, my area is starting to peak. You know, I'm in Orange County and Orlando. No real work down here, but I started a new career in voiceovers, so I could work from my home, trying to work with this new world we're living in. And yeah, it's a lot more peaceful, a lot slower, a lot less traffic. Equity, not a lot of work. Man, I went down there, there's no work for actors in equity. They're not paying nothing. And all the Disney folks making all the money, wherever that is, they're non-union. So it's a little tricky. It's a different animal. But hey, nothing stopped me. You know, we've been living with the blues. We're going to make it happen anyway. You know?
I hear that. Hey, there's no traffic in New York either right now.
Oh,
even
yeah?
on the 42nd Street, it is empty.
We're locked down, you know. So we got to create, that's why I created a new Instagram page. I'm trying to figure out what to do. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm the worst at promoting myself. I'll be honest. You know, I train a lot of actors, do a lot of work in this business, but I don't promote myself much. I've always been told I don't have enough ego for the business. I love the craft. I don't like the business too much.
Well, we're promoting you now, Keith, because you are a brilliant actor, a brilliant director, and also a song, you know, a song person. You are multi-talented. I know you play the guitar. I know you play the drums. I think you play the piano as well. Is that correct?
Piano, bass, you know. Yeah, piano.
And a little known fact, I think that, and I'm going to say this, and please correct me if I'm wrong, a little known fact, you used to be, why did my live finish? Wait a minute now. Come on now. My live video ended, so hold on. I'm going to put you right back on live again. My live video ended, but it didn't end there. Okay. You used to be the musical director for Lisa Cult Jam. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, I was a band leader and did that for 7 years. That was a big blast. You know,
Yeah.
sang, all cried out, and I was the voice of Full Force on the road, pretty much.
Really?
Yeah, did that for 7 years, traveled all around the world, made a lot of money, had a lot of fun. That was one big party for 7 years. Wow. And did theater in between tours, did theater. That's what that double platinum album is about.
Oh, you a double platinum album winner.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. That was a blast. That was a blast. But, you know, I work with a lot of people, Brian McKnight, you know, Shirley Murdoch. We did, you know, different people over the years, been very blessed. But, you know, theater has been my life for a long time. You know, I mean, for over 30 years in the theater live. Nothing like.
You was the artistic director for, what was the name of your company?
American Theater of Harlem.
That's right. And you took it over from?
Hal DeWint, the great late Hal DeWint. He passed away in '97. And they announced me as the new artistic director at the Apollo, and Roscoe Lee Brown, a whole bunch of them, all the great. Yeah, and I had to take it from there. And, you know, when your mentor leaves, people leave with him. So I had one student. And I expanded on American Theater of Harlem from just being a school to doing productions, plays, one-act festival, film festival. Had about 30 people deep every semester. And a lot of great people came out of that camp. Many of my students are like, they're all over the place. Robbie Morgan, to Team Tawfiq, Aisha Hines, you know, I mean, the list goes.
Was Tamara Tooney down with you guys too?
Tamara Tooney, yeah, we were peers with Hal DeWint, Tamara Tooney. A lot of great people came out of there. And, you know, I studied with Uda Hagen before I got with Hal. And Hal, man, Hal just opened up the door. I was already a working actor, but Hal opened up, he trained everybody. The Negro Ensemble, you talking about Sidney Poitier, I mean, the list goes on. He's one of those people that were just behind the scenes making stuff happen. He lived in Hollywood. He was like vice president of Universal. And, you know, bringing Black folks in, making it happen. And he got sick. He didn't know he had prostate cancer so bad. He came back to Harlem and started American Theater of Harlem in 1989. We were part of his first cohort of students out of National Black Theater. And we just grew. And when he got sick in 94, he asked me to take over his classes. And he casted me in everything he did. And you know, this is a great industry when you meet people who are pure love and genuine and generous, I should say. We can't be hoarders of knowledge, man, because it's not ours.
Yeah.
And he was one of those people that was very generous. And you know, Surette Scott, who took me on as a musical director for many, many plays, you know, she Spunk, I did Spunk so many times. You know, you need a guitar player that's an actor that plays guitar. And so God bless her, I gotta give her a call. Surette is brilliant too. She said she studied with Hal. You know, it just never stops. All these great people, you say, wow, everybody studied with Hal. So I feel very fortunate. He was like my father. And yeah, I was able to expand on what he built. But when Dawn passed away, my executive director, Dawn Bennett, God bless her. I know my lane. The business side, that's not me.
Yeah.
I was the artistic director. I needed her. And, you know, our people sometimes, you know, can be crabs in the barrel, but I forgive them. They, you know, God bless them. You get people gonna be hating on you. You think they're your best friend, and they trying to do.
Yeah.
But that's you know, that's how it goes. You know.
Hold on one second, Keith. Hi, Mary Finney. I'm glad that you're with us. She's saying that she can't hear you. So, Mary, give me a thumbs up if you can hear the interviews going on, because we don't want you to miss the jewels that.
Can she hear it on Facebook? Is that the issue, or is she watching it from your page? Is that the?
She said she can hear it now. So thanks. You know what it was? I had my earphones in. I had my earphones in. See, this show is about technology, and we're learning as we're going. Yeah. So I had to take my earplugs out, and now Mary can hear. And I see my friend Max Daniel is watching. So thank you, Max, for being here. Angelette King just joined us. And Keith, this show is all about well, what you're talking about, but technology too. So now you're down there in Florida. How do you think you can bring technology into what it is that you're doing now? And you kind of alluded to it with the there you go.
Voiceover and training. My buddy and I, who moved down here, he got fired from NBC, Emmy Award-winning editor, and we teamed up. We started Creative Alley Productions here. This year, we directed a commercial for Take Six. You know the group Take Six?
Yes.
Yeah, we directed a spec commercial for them. We just did a project.
Oh, wait, stop. Even before you, how did you get that?
You know, Kevin was in the dentist, heard this guy singing, said, hey, man, you sound pretty good. He said, hey, you ever heard of Take Six? And he said he's with Take Six. I said, what? So we're now over at Valencia College. I'm teaching voiceover at Valencia College. He's teaching editing. And so we brought Christian over from Take Six and showed him all the equipment. We have all this stuff we could use, right? As for the classes, right? So we said, well, let's do something. If Take Six ever wants to do something. And then Claude McKnight called and said, hey, we have this idea for BMW. We want to pitch a commercial. And so we said, hey, we'll do it. So he produced it. I directed it. You know, Kevin put it together. We put it in. We're going to see what happens. If BMW likes it, hey, that's great. If not, you know, we're just building our reel and we're trying to make something happen here. And so, hey, I believe in the Almighty Creator.
Amen.
And that's my agent beyond anything else. Everything I've gotten in my life was because of him. So I don't have no fear in any of this. Yeah. You know, and so I believe as creators, as artists, You know, God is the almighty creator. So artists are creative people are actually highly developed souls, right?
Mhm.
We're made to create. And so don't let anything stop you.
So
Now
how
that,
are you bringing that creativity in? Because now we're all
Yeah.
quarantined and we have to create from home, and we have to use this technology that I'm really learning about as we go, as we're talking right now.
yeah,
How do we do that?
well, that's what we're doing, you know, put out content. I think we have to learn how to monetize that.
Yeah.
Because one thing we're doing is looking for likes, right? And waiting for Instagram or Facebook or YouTube to get enough likes to actually pay you some money. But also learn the programs that you have to pay money to get it, right? Develop courses, develop online processes that can give back to you, because we have to be compensated for this. Live stuff doesn't work well on screen. Number one, you ever watch a play on screen, it's just not the same, right? It's a different animal, right? The screen is picking up what's going on in your head, so it's not big enough to catch a live performance, and there's no electric energy between you and the audience, right? And as an actor or a live music performer, we're exchanging energy and frequency with human beings and out in the audience. It's a whole different animal. And so you can't capture that unless you have the lighting, 3 cameras, different shots, and it's edited to keep it moving so the eye is interested.
Right.
Right. So it's a screen is very flat. It gets boring after a while. We're just looking at a bunch of heads talking, right? And after a while that we can check out. So we have to really be ahead of the game. And young people today, they're on it. They have all these little apps. They're creating TikTok and all this other stuff. But the high definition stuff is what we have to really look at. We want to make it in this industry. Lighting is everything when it comes to the screen.
Yeah.
You know, people dark shaded, people check out. And so there are lots of, we have to move with the life is probably not going to be the same. I look forward to more live gatherings. Whatever's behind this nonsense, because it's a bunch of nonsense, we have to get beyond it. And because, without our human connection, I don't know how we live, be honest, you know. So we have to get on it. I'm struggling with it. We're all struggling with it. You know, technology, sound, light, and color. We have to think deeper about that, about how we use it to affect others, because our work is a ministry.
And we just got a thumbs up on that, sound, light, and color. Michele, do you want to jump in there?
I was just, agreeing with what you were saying, because at the end of the day, we are I just feel like as creatives, we kind of light the way, or we show the way in our, in our journey as creatives. And
that's right.
We have to find that way so that we are able to emit the energy through the computer somehow, right?
Yeah.
Live right now is the only way that we're connecting with each other. So it's finding a way that in this box and in this world that we can connect with each other and stay connected. And that's why we're here, because it's like, you know what, let's just have a conversation. Let people chime in, let people come on, let people join us and feel like they're a part of something. So having you on and having the music and having your conversation we're connecting with someone, that, like you said, you need to call your teacher. Yeah, this is the time. God, I feel like God is telling us right now, no matter, we all know that we're here for some crazy old reason, but if you think about the bigger picture, our world is dying. They're trying to kill our world. The trees are dying. The ozone, like all these things can't attack us if the planet wasn't fit. right? So we have to be fit. The planet has to be fit, and we're all made of energy. So energy is not what's killing us. Energy, we have to learn to transfer energy and keep good energy going. But our planet is dying. Mother Earth is crying. You know, she's like, what the hell are you guys doing? And so in this quiet time, people are like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. Sit the hell down.
Be still.
Connect here into yourself.
Yeah.
You could connect out there. Like I couldn't do this if I didn't meditate, I didn't do yoga, I didn't go paint, I didn't create in my head, like do something, staying creative. Then I could come here and share and connect with other people. But we have to life is about living and moving forward. So we have to find a way to keep going despite this thing, whatever you want to call it, whatever it's here. As human beings, we have to find a way to keep moving because that's what we are, energy.
It's challenging us. It's challenging us to go in.
To go in
And come out with something even greater.
Exactly.
So speaking of that, what advice would you have for people sitting at home? Because, you know, there's a lot of us actors who are out of work. And this thing it happened so fast, it's been devastating. But what can we do at home as actors and maybe even as people to, you know, step our game up? I know you talked about stepping our game up. Keith, you mentioned voiceovers. How would one start to get into the game of voiceovers at home?
Well, number one is training.
I was about to say.
Anything you do not go out there thinking you just know it.
Right.
I'm an actor over 30 years in the field, a stage actor.
Mm-hmm.
Working on screen is a different animal. Working on radio is a different animal.
Amen.
The voiceover world, there's a lot of training to understand how to get work. It's also a small market, right? They use people who's going to get the job done, right? And so
I'm at home. So I'm at home right now. What do I do? What is the first step the baby step I should take in terms of learning how to train? Where can I go?
Get online and find out where are the voiceover training spaces, right? I mean, you spend all this money for college. Spend some money to get trained in the craft so that you don't make a mess of yourself. Because one thing learn in this business is you got one shot and then your name gets around. Right? You go out there and have a sucky audition. You know, people know people. They're like, oh, they see your face or they see your name's like next. You know, so you got one shot. You have to make your impression as a professional. If they're saying, okay, could you give me a A3 for that? And you're like, right? So you don't know the terms. Oh, you don't understand this. Okay, can you smile on that line? You know, so what does that mean? Right? So that some training will give you not only training, number two is getting a professional reel.
Yes.
As soon as they hear your reel, it's like a bad headshot or a bad reel. They're not going to look any further. Casting, directing, and that. They're not going to waste time. You got millions of people. Voiceovers now is a $15 billion business. 10 years ago, it used to be a white man's business. Just 10 years of it. And that was, you know, I think it was somewhere in the high millions. It has grown exponentially because of technology. So everyone's in it. You think of Siri as a female, right? Alexa is a female. GPS. There is voiceover everywhere. All right. So everyone wants to go to Hollywood. There's a million places you can go as an actor. All right.
And what kind of, and I don't mean to stop you, Keith, but what kind of equipment is it that you have in your place, in your office, that you can do voiceovers? Well, I see a nice mic there, and just explain.
A pop filter. He got a pop filter.
What kind of mic? Filter, condenser mic. You know, if you get training, they're going to tell you what's the standard, right? There are lots of ways you can go, but you need a condenser mic, a pop filter, and an interface. Right? Interface is what you plug it into that goes into the some something to record on. You know, you could use GarageBand. Audacity is free online. But main thing is get training. You know, there are a lot of people in this business that suck, that don't know what they're doing. Everyone's jumping on. A lot of kids are doing it, and they may get a job here and there. But if you want to get union work or reputable work or work that actually pays, you have to be a professional. You have to come in knowing what you're doing.
And I'm getting thumbs up. Do you have to be, hey, Michael Lynch, I see you watching, and my cousin is out there, Crystal Bodie Smith from North Carolina. Linda is watching, and I can't see who else, but is it union? Can you work union and non-union, or is it strictly union?
Well, union, you can work non-union. You work union, right?
But
as you know, you can have a non-union name and work and set up your business. Well, bottom line is get your business together. You work union, right?
But
as you know,
are we getting feedback?
I'm
Technology, y'all.
Echo here.
Technology.
Yeah, I did hear echo.
Yeah, but bottom line is union. You know, screen actors get AFTRA. I've been with AFTRA for a long time. And when I did voiceovers there in New York, I was with ICM and Bloom. They were sending me out for stuff. I didn't know what I was doing then. And so I went and got trained afterwards. After I did the whole BET thing, I did some promos for BET, and I learned that I didn't know what I was doing in the voiceover world. You know, I got work, but I said, let me learn this thing. And so, yeah, bottom line is, you know, you need the right equipment. Bottom line, you want some training. And if you get training, they'll let you know what the right equipment is and where the work is. Now, don't get me wrong. It's just like paying dues as an actor in the theater, right? You're auditioning. You don't know when you're going to get that next gig. Get the gig. It's all about relationships. This game is about relationships and talent. Yeah. If you don't have the talent, it doesn't even matter, right? If you don't have the training, it doesn't even matter, right? You're as good as your last gig. You're as good as and you have to be easy to work with. Yeah. That goes a long way. You know, and your integrity, you got to be on time. You have to deliver.
You have to be skilled. You have to be skilled.
Yeah, you have to know what your strengths are. You cannot do everything. Yeah. And that's where a lot of people go wrong. You know, I have the gravitas, I have my voice, blah, blah, blah. But that fast stuff, I can't read that fast. You know what I mean? So I know where my lane is, right? But if I develop a relationship with someone, they can edit it and make it really pop. But it's all about your relationships. And there's going to be different ways to we have to make a living as artists. But the big question I always ask actors, why are you in it? Because you got to get real with yourself. Some people just want to be stars and want attention. That's not good enough.
Right.
You know, why are you doing this? If you have to, then you have to do it. Right? But why do you have to do it? Right. That's the question. Because there's a lot of other things you can do to be all right, you know? Yeah. You know, people struggle dreaming about something that maybe that's not even their thing, you know? So, you got to sit with yourself and think about it.
Especially during these times, because right now, you know, going to live auditions, that's not happening anymore. So you've got a lot of time to think about if you really want to be in this business or not, and how can you bring technology into this business to make it work for you.
Exactly.
I got one thing else, learn the stock market.
Yes.
Learn the stock market. Talking about technology.
Yeah.
I have a good friend, Tyrone Jackson. Brilliant actor, did very well as an actor. I mean, he was in everything. Lots of commercials, made money as an actor, but he's a big millionaire now, running a company.
Can we tap into that? No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, yeah. Is the wealthy investor. Wealthy investor, you check him out online. The wealthy investor is, what's the name of it? We've been a member for a while. It took me a while to get him to answer his call. Like stocks, but he will teach you some really simple ways to work the stock market. It is the #1 game on the planet.
Even in these times, Keith?
No,
Yeah.
now is the best time to get in.
Well, you have to know what you're doing. The training is very important because you can lose money,
Yeah.
right? But there's one game and 100 ways to play it. There are ways that you won't lose any money. It's not a risk. You can do covered calls, options, those sorts of things. Some people do puts, which is, when the market is down, they're making money off of the market being down. But I asked Tyrone, I said, once it clicked, it took me about 6 months to figure out what the heck I was doing. And he said, wealth is in your thinking. A lot of artists were not thinking in that way. The starving artist thing, right? We got a money problem. I said, wow, it clicked. And I was like, why? I said, how come everybody's not doing it? He says, everybody's doing it. Everyone that's wealthy. And he opened up the windows. We're in a penthouse in Manhattan. He said, look at all the lights that are on. They're all trading, every one of them. He said, we haven't been taught that. Their parents passed it on. This is the biggest game on the planet. Yeah. He says, hey, I love acting. I did very well, but I love money more. And he just shifted he says, I really don't want to be auditioning for anybody at this point in my life. I did it.
You can do his own show with your own money. When you your own money,
and
money,
he actually
right?
did.
With your own money, it empowers you to do what you need to do. So
he's created his own show. He's created his own business with his acting skills. Yeah. And that's the other thing. Your acting skills can open up businesses, y'all. So you don't have to be on stage telling everyone else's stories. Create your own stories. Write your stories. Film your stories. We're talking about technology. Write your stories, film your stories. They don't have to be long. You don't have to do a feature. Give yourself a break and do a web series. Do a short. But make sure the lighting is good. Make sure the script is good. Make sure the acting is good. Or
and the sound. And the sound.
Sound is everything. Sound, light, it has
sound and lighting. If you don't have sound and lighting, you can have a mediocre, it's crazy. You can have a mediocre story and have good lighting and sound and people will still like it. But if you have Melissa, come in and then I'll give you guys some Facebook folks that are on.
Hey, girl.
Billy was American Theater Harlem too. I forgot that. Billy is on, right?
All right.
That is awesome. Oh, there's some gems you are dropping, Keith. My goodness gracious. I'm feeling all enterprising right now. This is awesome. Right now, we are going to go ahead and give a shout out to Christine Fontana 07. Thank you for joining.
Hi, Christina.
BK Photo 2012. Nork Centric City, hello. And please forgive me if I say your name wrong, but I think it's Naez. Naez dropped a jewel for us when we were talking about equipment, and he gave a link, www.podcastinsights.com/podcast-equipment.
Can you say that again, Melissa?
No, we'll post it.
We'll post it. I'll send it. Yeah,
We'll
so that way we'll post it.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much, Naez, for sharing that. And also, we're going to give a shout out to Rev Maloney McGant. Thank you so much for joining.
Yes, Melanie. Hello, Reverend Melanie. Mwah, 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 mwah.
Yes. Awesome. That's all I have right now.
That's it. All right. We have some Facebook folks. Let me give you guys a little insight to our we got a lot of folks on our Instagram. On our Facebook Live page. So I want to just go ahead and say hello to Victoria Scrimmager, Jamal Williams. Hi, how are you, darling? Mark Maples. Mark Maples said, I'm working on creative way to proceed with communicating my art over the computer. The inner self connection is needed now. Arlene is on. Arlene was our guest last week. With the Fierce Ladies, who actually dropped some jewels for us as we were filming the show. So we want to thank you, you guys out there. So Melissa, thank you for that insight. Keith, you are just on point here and doing your thing. So we thank you for being here as well. Let's keep talking about technology. I think one of the things we want to talk about, Benja, is how we migrated from the beginning to today and what things that we've been trying. So like Keith said, you got to go out and you have to try these things. We're at a time where we're in the house. So guys, all of you out there, just do it. Like, don't worry about if you're gonna be perfect, because we're not perfect. We're used to being on stage and in front of a camera. So now we're trying to navigate through this world here in your living room or while you're in the bed watching us on your computer or your iPhone. So don't be afraid to go out there, but we'll share with you some of the things that we've learned and some of the challenges that we've had, because Benja and I have had like some 3-hour technology meetings and we still go, oh my God, when we get to this point. So
oh no, we had a challenge today.
We had
before we go on, I just want to say Michael Lynch is watching and we have got to get him on. He is a fabulous performer. So I think he's on my Facebook page. Hey, Michael, we see you. Viviana, who I just did a show with. She's a fabulous actress, but she's also a good cook. So I don't know if you want to do a cooking segment on this show, but we got to get Viviana on it. Viviana, I see you, baby. And okay. I'm sorry, Michele, to interrupt you. Oh.
That's okay. And to the audience, can you guys go and like our Facebook and Actors Like the Series and Instagram and Actors Like the Series, so we can just start building our little audience. And by the time we get like you guys will be like the pioneers with us. So, and we'll shout you out. But Benja, let's talk about the day one. What was day one? Let's tell them how day one was.
No, I'm not going to tell them that.
What? Why? Let's talk about it.
It's frustrating, and I'm having a frustrating day today because it took me 20. We have a meeting before we see you guys. And it took me about 25 minutes to get into the room to have the meeting. So I missed the whole meeting with this technology thing. And maybe somebody out there can, because this whole Zoom thing is new to me. And even though I've been in the Zoom boom room for about 2 weeks now, I see that there are things that we can do on Zoom. And if anybody is really technically savvy with Zoom, like going into breakout meeting rooms and hosting web shows or whatever, hit us up and let us know what you're doing so you can come on the show. I'm sorry, Michele, that's not what you asked me, but.
No, but it's okay because we do want breakout. I did learn how to do breakout rooms, but before we got to that, Benja and I were just like, okay, let's do this. And we were trying to be a little gangster with this. And, everybody that has a Zoom account knows that it's free for the first 40 minutes. And so we were like, we don't have the money to pay they were asking for like $100 and something for the year. And we were like, listen, hello, we're not getting a paycheck. Hello. So we went through the route where we'd be like, our show's only going to be 30 minutes. And then we went, Benja, over 40 minutes, right? And then we had to shut down and come back on. And one of the things we want to just say is that experience is that just go ahead and just pay the money, because what's going to happen is as your show is growing and getting better, because every time you go out, you want to be better and better, you'll lose an audience. So once you start losing your audience, then get out your meeting, like get out of your live or whatever. So once you start experiencing technical difficulties or you start having issues, say goodbye, see you later, and then come back another time, as opposed to sitting and trying to figure out your technical things while you're online, because we're experiencing that and we're trying to get beyond that. And the other thing we're gonna, life, the experiences that we're dealing with now is what teaches us and makes us grow. So just before the show, we find out that Danny gets an emergency and he can't come on. And so it's like, we had this was gonna be a perfect show. We had our layout, we had our this, and we had our, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And then we get this hiccup and then we're like, what the hell do we do with it? And so luckily, Keith, I love you, just came in literally like 10 minutes before the show started. And so we're like, so here we are. And
then I put him on the spot and had him sing a song, and he wasn't ready.
Exactly, because we're like, could you fill in some space while we figure out, because we had another technical glitch because we had to try to figure out what we're going to do with the show glitch. And so it just became this circle. But I'm going to say, I'm a perfectionist. Everybody knows as a producer, you've been on a set with me, you know I'm a damn nut, whack job, things gotta work. Well, in this medium, there's no time. Hell, I don't even know what today's day is. I mean, like most of the time, I don't even know what the day is. Breathe, 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 breathe. I can't say it enough. Just breathe and like Keith said, put your art out there. Don't be, be unapologetic about your art. Just put it out there. And some are going to like it. Some are not going to like it. Some are going to come back. Some are not going to come back. So you have to we're in this space now. Just do it. Amen. And we're actors. So the thing that I'm always saying is that, and I've done this before Corona, study your craft. Don't say you're an actor. Don't say you're a writer. Don't say you're a filmmaker. Don't say you're this or that. If you haven't studied the craft, my first film, I went online. This was like Benja, you worked with me on Pitter Patter. I was director. Went online. I learned everything I needed to learn online. And then I came to my team and said, okay, here we go. And the team trusted and we got through a journey. So you have to be studying. Dude, this is your time right now. You should be practicing your tongue twisters, working on scene study, working on your voice. You want to be a voiceover, right?
I'm learning Spanish.
Learn Spanish. Learn a new recipe. Cook better. Listen.
And we got Viviana for that. We bringing her on. I see her watching.
Mark my words. I'm going to say this now. This is my quote, so don't be trying to steal it, y'all. You're either coming out of this situation fat or fit. And I don't mean just fat like fat. I mean fat creatively, fat, wealthy. Hey, Keith, I'm glad you talked about that because I'm going to hit your boy up. I'm telling you, the day the stock market crashed, I brought my first stock.
Yeah.
I made money. I lost money. I made money. But you have to be in it for the long term. Don't go in with this world. The reason why we're in this situation too is we're in a world where everybody needs immediate gratification. They want everything now and they're selfish. People are selfish. That's why we're dealing with what we're dealing with. So when you go in for the long haul. Like Keith said, learn, reach out. He just dropped you a jewel. He's like, reach out to his boy. Is it okay if I say it out loud again?
Oh, yeah.
Tyrone. Yeah, you guys need to go to Tyrone Jackson Stock Trading. Tell him that Keith Johnston sent you. I am enunciating my words because if I want to be a voiceover actor, I need to enunciate my words. Study, people.
Melissa, do we have any more comments?
No, we do not have any more comments at this moment.
Okay.
Let's see let's see if we have anything on Facebook, Benja.
Billy's still on there?
Billy, I don't know if Billy Mitchell is still on. I can't really tell with this technology that I'm learning right now. I can't tell who's on right now.
Tell him I said hey, because
and hopefully
America Theater Harlem too, man. We were together there.
I don't know if Billy Mitchell is still on. I can't really tell.
Demetrius is on. Hi, Demetrius.
I'm learning right now. I can't tell who's on right now. Okay, I'm getting feedback.
America Theater Harlem too, man.
Demetrius Paschal is on. Demetrius, hi, Demetrius. Demetrius is on. Hi, Demetrius.
I can't tell who's on right
now. Oh, I got another meeting. It was great.
Thank you.
I got to go.
I
got another Zoom meeting.
Can you give us like 1 minute of some music before you go, please?
Oh man.
Just grab that guitar, do something, and check yourself out. We love you.
There we go.
Here we go.
Don't know the right words to say. I'm not magic. Don't hold the world in my hand. Wish I could fly through the air like a hero. I'm just someone who loves you. That's all I am.
Thank you, Keith. Love you, man. I'm going to hit you up on Instagram, I promise.
Yeah, hit me up.
Okay.
All right.
Yes,
thank you.
Thank you.
Bless
It was
me.
a pleasure.
Thank you.
Take
That was
care.
Keith Johnston, y'all, coming to you live from Orlando, Florida.
Yes, yes, yes.
So, any last words, Michele, before we sign off?
No, I just want to thank everyone for coming. I want to thank everyone for checking in. You guys could be anywhere this time, but you're here with us nutty girls and checking out our show. And I know we got a little bit off-centered, but we managed to talk a little bit about technology. So, okay, wait. Yeah, let's finish with, because we didn't drop our technology jewels, and we're going to drop them even if nobody's on. We got one person on. So if you open up your Zoom account, you can interface with Facebook. There's at the bottom of your screen where it says more, you say more, you go Facebook Live. If you have a Mac computer, these are some things, we're going to drop our little jewels, Benja. So the things that I've learned with with a Mac computer, you have to go from either Firefox or Chrome. For some reason, Melissa, you could stay on. For some reason, Safari does not interface the Facebook platform without hiccups. It's something to do with the camera. So if you're going to be using a Mac computer, make sure you're going from Firefox or Chrome or one of the other network platforms that Mac approves, and you launch your Zoom account from there, and then you log into your Facebook account, and then you're live. That's easier. They also have clicks for URLs to copy links and things of that nature. We chose to be a little gangster on the show, where I have in the other room, I have my iPad and my phone watching the laptop from an Instagram platform. We don't know how that interface is going to work out until we review the recording or we review the live feed again. But we're just playing around and testing things to see if they work. And that's about it. We'll keep sharing with you our little challenges and our hiccups, things that we're learning as we navigate through bringing art to Zoom or other platforms.
Thank you. Melissa, you have anything you want to share before we go?
Yeah, thank you all once again. It was awesome to see all the people coming in and checking us out, and all the jewels that Michele, Benja, and Keith shared today. I know as an artist, it is important to stay sharp. I know a lot of us who have been in theater, a lot of their shows have been canceled, but that did not stop us. I had about 3 shows that were canceled, and one of them was supposed to be traveling. Mm-hmm. So instead of giving up, we still have our meetings by Zoom to keep ourselves sharp and still reading our lines and still learning and developing. So that way when the show does come on, we are on our A game. And also invest in yourself. Keith is 100% right. Invest in yourself. I right now am going through a voiceover class. And I realized, you know what? It's money. I would spend it on, food. That quarantine 15 comes in real quick. But if I go ahead and spend that money on something that is going to make me better and help me to invest more into myself and into my craft, I'd rather do that than gain that 15 pounds.
Oh yeah.
So my favorite motto is stay encouraged, for the best is yet to come. And so thank you all. I can't wait to see you next time.
And I will just add, if you are union, SAG-AFTRA, you can go on their website and they have free classes virtually that you can take now, about voiceovers, setting up cameras. They have a list of performer challenges. That's not right. They have a list of classes that you can take for free. You have to sign up for them, and they will email you and let you know if you got in. But if you don't get in this time, you can always go back and check their website, the SAG-AFTRA website, and they have classes for free that can start you off. All right, Michele is our host with the most. This is her creation. So give us your last words, Michele.
Oh man, you guys did so good. I'm just going to say blessings to everyone out there. Stay inspired, stay believing in yourself, knowing that no matter what, we are going to get through this. Whether you're losing people or have people in the hospital, stay encouraged, stay prayed up, meditate. I don't know what else to say, I just say do it. You guys have access to a computer and Google, and you can do whatever the hell you want to do, and you can find anything that you want to know how to do. It'll be on Google. That's it.
All right. Well, good night, everybody.
Love you guys.
Bye.
I stopped live, so hold on, let me go stop the other live so we can see our famous. You guys can do whatever, we're not live anymore.
Hey, Benja. Go ahead, rap what it says.
I barely made it through the show. I have no idea. Wait, we're on Instagram Live too, right?
Wait, no, hold on. Hold on.
Still on live. Hey,
Yes.
Instagram, what up?
All right, now we are.
We aren't on anything live.